As I said at the beginning, it's a delight and a privilege for me to return to Don Bosco Cristo Rey once again and to have the chance to pray with this assembly of fine young men and women and teachers and a sprinkling of parents and maybe grandparents, because today is a special day for Don Bosco because it is the feast day, the solemn feast day for St. John Bosco. And since my brother Salesians are members of the society that Don Bosco established, they're particularly happy today. And they're doing what John Bosco would have them do. They're gathering a group of young people together to pray and to celebrate. The readings that we listened to today all make reference to young people, and that's fitting because John Bosco spent his entire priesthood caring for young people, but not just any young people in Turin, Italy, who didn't come from very wealthy families. They were young people who didn't have a lot of the things that the more affluent young people in Turin might have enjoyed. But those are the ones that John Bosco wanted to care for, the poor, the forgotten, the neglected. But above all, he wanted to care for young people. I have said it on more than one occasion. John Bosco spent his entire priesthood working with teenagers, and that's probably why he's a saint, because sometimes working with teenagers is not the easiest activity you can do, but for John Bosco, it was the most satisfying work that he could accomplish. And he didn't just teach them, he witnessed for them the love that God had for them. The second reading from St. Paul to the Corinthians has that wonderful description of what love is. It's kind, it's generous, it's not puffed up. And that's what John Bosco wanted the young people that he cared for to realize, that love is that energy that keeps the church alive, that keeps humanity in the right direction. But not only that, John Bosco also wanted to teach them academic and other lessons of work skills so that as they grew up, they would have a way of caring for themselves and their families. He wanted to teach them spiritually and academically, and above all, he wanted them to know of their goodness, their worth, their importance. And because of that, a lot of those young people that gathered with John Bosco realized that they had a future. He gave them a future. He allowed them to see that in spite of the things that they didn't have, because of their families not having many material resources, he helped them to see that they had a future, a brighter tomorrow than they might have ever envisioned. So today, on the solemn feast of John Bosco, in this school that's named after him, in the presence of some of his younger brothers, we renew our gifts and the gift of our hope and the gift that John Bosco would have us pursue, the gift of love for God, love for others, love for one another. Amen.